There's an African proverb that completely changed my perspective on why I was sabotaging my own success, and once you understand this ancient wisdom, you'll never look at your struggles the same way again. 3 years ago, I was my own worst enemy, and I didn't even realize it until I discovered that the biggest battle of my life wasn't happening in the outside world, it was happening inside my own head. Picture this, you're lying in bed at 2 a.m., scrolling through social media, watching other people live the life you dream about. Your mind starts that familiar conversation, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve success, what if I fail? Sound familiar? That was me every single night for months. I had dreams, I had goals, but there was this invisible force constantly pulling me back, and I couldn't figure out what it was until I stumbled upon this life-changing wisdom. The proverb says, when there is no enemy within you, the enemy outside cannot harm you. At first, I thought this was just another motivational quote, but as I dug deeper, I realized this wasn't just advice, this was a blueprint for understanding why talented people stay stuck while others with less skill seem to effortlessly succeed. Let me share something that took me years to understand. Every day, you're fighting 3 different types of enemies, and most people spend their entire lives battling the wrong ones. The surface enemy is everyone you can see, the critics, the doubters, the people who don't believe in your vision. I used to spend hours crafting the perfect comeback to negative comments, trying to prove myself to people who would never understand my journey anyway. But here's what I learned. When you're solid within yourself, other people's opinions become background noise. They literally cannot penetrate your inner fortress when you've built it strong enough. The friendly enemy is more dangerous because they disguise their doubt as care. These are the people close to you who say things like, maybe you should be more realistic, or I just don't want to see you get hurt. They genuinely love you, but their version of protection becomes your prison. I had family members who would constantly remind me of all the reasons why my dreams might not work out, thinking they were helping me avoid disappointment. The truth is, their fears were actually their own limiting beliefs projected onto my possibilities. But the internal enemy, this is the real battle. This is the voice that knows exactly which buttons to push because it has access to all your insecurities, all your past failures, all your deepest fears. It sounds like you, it knows your history, and it's incredibly convincing. This enemy whispers things like you're not smart enough. You don't come from the right background. Who are you to think you deserve more? 6 months ago, I had a breakthrough moment. I was about to give up on a project I'd been working on for 2 years because that internal voice had convinced me it wasn't good enough. But then I asked myself a question that changed everything. What if this voice isn't me? What if it's just programming from years of conditioning, fear, and other people's limitations that I've internalized? That's when I realized the most powerful truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. Once you understand this distinction, you can start directing that internal voice instead of being directed by it. Instead of that voice working against you, you can train it to work for you. Here's the practical part that most people skip. This isn't just about positive thinking or affirmations. This is about creating a compelling future that's so clear and meaningful that your internal voice starts working toward it instead of against it. Every morning, I spend 10 minutes visualizing not just what I want to achieve, but why it matters, how it will feel, and who I'll become in the process. But here's the key. I had to replace the time I was spending on things that fed my internal enemy, endless social media, scrolling, consuming negative news, engaging with people who drained my energy, with activities that strengthened my inner foundation. Reading, learning new skills, physical exercise, meditation, and surrounding myself with people who are also committed to growth. The secret isn't eliminating the internal enemy, it's learning to manage it. That voice will always be there, but when you consistently work on yourself, when you have clear purposes that excite you, when you understand your why, that voice becomes your ally instead of your saboteur. Here's what I want you to understand. The greatest tragedy isn't failing at your dreams, it's never trying because you let your internal enemy convince you that you're not worthy of success. Right now, someone with less talent than you is succeeding because they've learned to direct their internal voice toward possibility instead of limitation. Your assignment, if you choose to accept it, is this. For the next 7 days, pay attention to that internal voice. Don't judge it, don't fight it, just observe it. Notice when it tries to talk you out of taking action, when it magnifies your fears, when it minimizes your capabilities. Awareness is the first step to transformation. And if this resonates with you, if you're ready to stop being your own worst enemy and start being your greatest ally, subscribe to this channel because we're building a community of people who are committed to winning the battle within. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's one limiting belief your internal enemy keeps repeating that you're ready to challenge? Remember, when there's no enemy within you, the enemy outside cannot harm you. The question is, are you ready to claim that power?